This episode is brought to you by our friends at Clutch & Co. Clutch & Co are a Melbourne-based and designed golf and performance apparel brand with great quality products at great price points. Why would you go anywhere else? If you're a golf enthusiast, head online right now at clutchandco.com.au and use our discount code ACES for 25% off. Righto, let's get into the show. Big show today. Tommy Talks is back. Finally got some guests that'll join us. Got Dommy back on the show. Got some huge guests today. The Richmond boys are joining us, and Nathan Broad, Liam Baker and Jackie Graham. Gents, welcome to the show.
Thanks boys. Thanks for having us.
I told you it won't be that formal. Today is purely about one thing and one thing only, Dommy boy, and that is about the US Masters. Pretty pumped about it today, and we're been lucky enough to be sponsored again by Clutch & Co. Geez, the boys look pretty good. You've decked everyone out.
You've done well, mate. I think last week you said, mate, come on board as a sponsor. Then you've gone one further, and here I am as a co-host. So thanks for having me. And we've decked the lads out today in some of the Clutch & Co gear. But yeah, it's just great to have you boys on board. I guess some Richmond superstars, premiership players, some lads with some dodgy calves well on the other side of it. But we're golf nuts. We're previewing the Masters. Love of golf. So here we are, mate.
Yeah, we are here, and we're pretty excited. We're just talking about, Broady, your hat. Do you want to just fill everyone in on how you got that hat?
So Nick Vlaston's player sponsor is a mad golf man, and he went to the Masters a couple of years ago and brought it back for Nick, and Nick hates golf, and he said, do I want it? And I thought, you kidding, aren't you? Of course I'll have it. So, got it. Came with like a little ball marker too, which is on my other golf hat.
That's unbelievable that he hates golf. We were just saying earlier, how many blokes at the club would play golf regularly on their day off?
We had 4, and there's 3 of them right here, and then Rewalt. So we're pretty depleted. And then we figured out Saints had about 21. So the hub was good for us. We've recruited a few blokes, and we've got about 8 now, I reckon. And a few got handicaps last week, so we're getting better.
A few more jumping on, but yeah, the surfer boy here doesn't like golf, mate. It's surfing or nothing. So
yeah,
don't know what they're doing in the surf. There's all these shark attacks around here. Well, we'll go back. It's funny, Bakes. We ran into each other a few weeks ago down in Tasmania, a little trip there. It's just give everyone an update on who organised that golf trip. Obviously, round 1, you played Thursday night, didn't get the result, but then you saw the train over in Tassie, Barnbugle, and there's a fair crew. Who organised that, and what was all that about?
Yeah, so we had the 3 or 4 days off after round 1, and we thought it was a good opportunity to go to Barnbugle. So Rewald actually organised it all. Turns out Thursday night he broke his thumb, so he was a laid out, and Nank hurt his knee the night before as well, so he was a laid out. So there was about 10 of us. Broady couldn't make it, which was a shame.
What was the go there? Why weren't you there?
So the old man, I obviously haven't seen him for 18 months or whatever, and he's planning a trip over, and he's like, I'm going to come over round 1. I was like, oh, you're kidding. I was like, look, mate.
I don't know if his old man's watching it, but he was hoping he got COVID.
There was a market out for the old man to get COVID. I was like, come on, mate. But yeah, couldn't make the trip. No.
Oh, that's devastating. Family man, though.
Yeah, good on him.
That's brilliant. There's a good crew. The Bridport Hotel. Let's just go, while we're there, let's just talk about the biggest choke in history. I'll fill you boys in. I'll the Bridport having a couple of waters and whatnot, and what do you call it? Little cranberry juices there.
For you, mate.
A few beverages, but my uncle and his mate were playing pool, and they said, we'll beat anyone, and they're pretty average, to be honest. And then Bakesy come over with Big Lynchy and said, we'll fucking smash anyone at this pub. Anyway, they get in there, and it's got down to the black ball, and there was some dirty play, like little taps just behind the black ball, and then Bakesy, tell everyone who won.
Yeah, no, we were, what was on the line, a couple of fireball shots maybe.
Yeah, a couple of fireballs.
We were getting stuck into him for being old pricks. And, and we flat out choked, and we were getting stuck into him, and they were giving it right back after they won. So it was a good laugh.
It was unreal. There was literally 30 minutes on the. You were there. There was 30 minutes on the black ball. I reckon just blokes could not put it in.
Was he on the Bundy cans by then? So it was more looking forward for a fight than a.
Yeah, he was abusing the old boys once they beat him.
No, I wasn't too happy, but I rate myself at pool, but I find myself on the losing end quite a fair bit.
Mate, I know the feeling. And Jackie boy, how'd you go in Tassie, mate? Give us a rundown on your golf game that weekend, and actually who won the golf trip?
David Teague. He was off 20. He was a bandit, and he shot 40 both days. So yeah, hats off to him.
I remember him actually saying that at the pub. He's like, I've started well, but I'm no chance tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's taking
I
it
played
on.
4 days prior with him. And out of queue there, and we had a hit, and he was almost playing opposite-handed. That's how bad he was. And then one of the blokes who's a bookie, he put a market up, and I seen Tiki. I was like, "There's no way, not going near that." I played with him 4 days ago, and I was following it live on my score, and he's had about 40 points, and he's backed it up. He's had me on, I reckon.
He's put on the
He's put them all over my eyes, big time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Back to Rewalt's story. He obviously organised everything. Like, boys, we've got this, we've got the charter, I've got drinks sorted, a barbecue, and then he does his thumb, and there's actual vision in like the third quarter of him like practicing trying to swing to see if he can come.
That's unbelievable. We should find that.
Yeah. And then I think later that night at about 2:00, he couldn't sleep because his thumb's still aching and he hadn't pulled out by then. And he's still apparently in the backyard with his sticks like,
That's unbelievable.
Can I go? Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
So
I think
he
Lynchy
didn't want to miss out.
Lynchy was saying he rolled into the airport just prior to you guys leaving. Is that correct?
Yeah, he organised everything. So like all our punters club, he had organised that, balls, hats. So
What a man.
We had a player sponsor night the other night at a golf range, and he's there and he's got his guard on. He can't grab hold of the club, and he's still driving at bloody 290, win the longest drive comp, and then hitting it as clean as you want. It's just, we were just looking like,
He's asking the club dog, how many weeks am I out for? Golf or footy?
49, but golf too. Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. So is he the most powerful driver at the club?
nah, Bakes, yeah.
Yeah, Bakes gets onto him. Yeah.
but we need to stop talking about Revolt too much, you know, like
Yeah, pumping his tyres up.
pumping his tyres up a bit too much. Yeah,
Who comes second behind Tigi?
Jaden Short.
Shorty.
He played off 19 and he had maybe 36 and 38 points.
Yeah.
Solid golfer. He's starting to get into his golf now. Official handicap now, but he's off 13, so he's spewing. He hates it.
Coming low. That's
Yeah, so it's going to go out.
Because he was a cheat.
Yeah.
He's a bandit. He pulled the ball over these boys' eyes too, playing off 19 at Barnbougle. But he's 13.1 now.
And he's coming second.
Back to reality.
He's coming, it's like a stole gift. You got to time it.
yeah.
after those two blokes, it dropped off pretty quick though, didn't it? Like not too many blokes were scoring many points out there. It was, even though you said it was good conditions, there was
mate,
no
how good was it?
excuses.
No wind. What was the wind like down there?
Nah,
There was
barely a breath of
no wind.
Usually
and,
at the mercy of it.
They said wind and freezing.
Yeah.
So I've gone out there, no sunscreen, and preparing to hit low balls. And mate, it was I was sunburnt for a week, healing and doing podcasts. Put moisturiser on last podcast, just get the skin on my head. It was unbelievable. The course is amazing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, this is where we go straight to clutch just for a couple of big announcements. Just before we get into the show, today is all about the Masters. We're going to go through all the predictions. We're going to ask you boys about your golf game and some clutch questions, as we're going to call it. But before we go into all our Masters chat, Dommy, can you give everyone out there an update on the performance apparel today? What have you got coming, and is there any exciting announcements out there for all our golf enthusiasts?
Yeah, for sure. We're building, mate. So Brody, myself and you, we've got the new Pima Cotton Polo range on. So Brody's been a good Clutch & Co ambassador in the past, so we've looked after him with a bit of the premium stuff today. And we're just building. So just stay alert for all the announcements online, and really excited, mate.
It's funny, when we rolled in, I said, Dommy, you're going to deck the boys out, obviously new kit, all that kind of stuff. And I've grabbed your one. He goes, hey, that's the premium. That's for Brody.
Loyal customer, mate. Loyal customer.
Yeah, we love that. That's good. We've got some new boys on board as well. So, and then talk to me about what's coming up. We got the Masters, obviously, and you've come up with these ideas to bring out a certain look.
Spot on, mate. Look, we don't have a player playing in the Masters, but it's an absolute dream of ours, and we're ready. So we've just put together a little one-page document just detailing how we'd fit them out, starting on the Thursday through to the Sunday. We're assuming they make the cut, first of all, so they're getting to the weekend. But, hopefully one day we can have a player out there representing Clutch & Co.
They are very good. I think, boys, while we're looking at it there, I'd opt in for the Thursday kit, I reckon. I reckon that's me.
Yeah, I'm Thursday, doing me work early.
Yeah.
Anyone here going to last the red Sunday? Is that you, mate?
I'm off 16, boys. So I think I said on your podcast for a guy with a golf brand, I should be a lot better than what I am. So I don't think I'm making the weekend.
Maybe it's your number one ambassador post footy, make his way over there and challenging on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, love that.
Well, I'm not much better either. I'm 14 at the moment. So.
Well, speaking of handicaps, that's literally our next question. So we're going to roll into clutch questions that, Dommy boy, you've prepared that you want to ask the boys, and I'll chime in as well. But this is where we're going to ask you all about your golf game, lads. So listen up and Dommy, fire away.
Yeah, we might back up one, but I'd just love to know about your golfing journey, boys. How'd you get started and why do you love the game?
For me, being from Adelaide, I was always playing par threes with the old man, and then obviously moved over to Melbourne with footy, and there was a little bit of a golf culture with Brody and Rewalt, and then tagged along with them, and then before I knew it, I was playing down at the National every second, day off, which was pretty cool, but playing off about 23 and going through dozens of balls, just losing them in the rough. But then slowly signed up to Q, which is just around the corner from where we live, which is a good deck. Yeah. And just loving it. Playing every opportunity that I get every day off with, putting in the group text, let's go down for a swing, and the handicap slowly dropping. I'm off at about 12 at the moment, so I'm happy with me golf at the moment.
Yeah, I never played golf in Perth, and then came over to Richmond, and there was a bit of a golf culture, not much, but a little bit with previous players like Lloydie and that. So I just jumped on board as something to do on my day off, and then like Fridge said, we both just fell in love with it. I used to live in South Yarra, and Fridge was out at Fairfield where he's now, and he picked me up at about 5:30 a.m. on our day off. We'd jump in the car, we'd race down to the National, we'd play 18, come in for a Nash burger, play another 18, get back in the car, and we'd get home about, 6, 7 o'clock at night, and then main training the next day.
You got the back spasms after the big day in the car.
We did this for a whole season, and then we got the tap on the shoulder that we'd used up all our guest passes at the National. So we had to wait another year, but same as Fridge and Bakes, we just love it now, and I'm off 14 at the moment.
Beautiful.
Members at Q, all three of us, so...
Yeah, it's great. Good. So 12, 14. What about you, Basey?
Yeah, we've heard good things.
We've heard great things here. You can't wait for this question.
He might be your Sunday representative.
I think he might be. Big reputation.
I'm down about around 7, 8 at the moment, so that's the lowest I've ever been, and
career best
getting
form,
bloody
mate.
hard. But no, I was a bit different. I grew up out in the bush, so wasn't really golf. There was one golf course out there, but I wasn't really allowed to play on it, so I was just teeing up, using Dad's clubs, teeing up balls in the paddock, hitting them as far as I could, and then leaving them out there, and then taking all these golf balls pretty much. But it wasn't until I come over here, similar to these boys, and started playing regularly, and we got a little crew going, so it's good.
So how long have you been playing for?
4 or 5 years probably, yeah. Every now and again, like at school, we'd go for a hit, like you all do, but there just wasn't much time when I was back home, and then now you come play footy, you've got all these days off. And
it's great.
Go and have a hit.
Where are we at with our potential? Where do you reckon you're at? Like, if you're going to say...
That's what I was about to say. We're all around the same handicap at one point. Like, we're all hovering around 18, 19. And I just wasn't getting anywhere, and these two were just getting lower and lower. They were hanging around 13, 12, 13, 14, and I went... started going out, 20, 21, 22, I'm like, Jesus. And then this bloke's just, gone to another level. He's off 7 now and, playing in the bloody Pennants team and everything. So he's killing it.
That is a story, actually. I got mail from one of the boys in the room, but the Sunday Pennants, give me an update. I heard a rumour that you're playing in these competitions and you've got a crew of 30 following you, like a little junior tiger. Mate, is that true or false?
Nah, that's true. We played it. I played a couple of rounds in the youth one, by the way, the under 25s, not the big dogs, but these boys caddied for me once. But when we were playing at Q, so on the home deck, there was one point we got through 9, and then on the 10th hole, all these kids started following me, and then they were just following me behind, and then on the 18th hole it was there's a nice par 3 at the clubhouse, so everyone's on the first tee, the 10th tee, watching the men's go, and on the practice screen there, and I choked hard on the 18th in front of about 150, 200 people, and sprayed one out into the rough on a par 3 and had about 6. So lost on the last hole in front of everyone. Wow. It wasn't a very fun day.
What's the overall win-loss in that Colts pennant team?
I've won once and lost twice.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
He takes it real serious. So when we caddy for him, he's like, "Oh, go clean me ball and stuff like that."
It's such a lot.
Here I am pulling his bag and everything.
Are you giving him the old tips what club to use? Or
Yeah,
just-
I'm trying to, but he doesn't listen to me.
Nah, don't listen.
Go up a club, full short.
Is it stroke or match play or how's
Yeah,
it?
it's match play. So
Wow.
handicap doesn't really mean
Yeah,
anything. So
yeah.
it was. Yeah,
It was when I caddied for him a few weeks ago. He was playing this young bloke, and we'll play. We got a few holes in, and he's like, "Oh, I was late call up. Actually, I got called up last night to play." And we're like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, the person you were meant to play was a 13-year-old girl."
Oh, wow.
She's off too.
Yeah.
What?
So I wish that happened.
Oh, that would have been
She would've
unbelievable.
smoked me.
Yeah.
That's unreal. That must be an experience. So like that's on a Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday morning. Yeah.
So you'd be spewing when you get AFL games on a Sunday.
Well, that's the thing. You lose no good last year, so now we're playing all Sunday games, so I can't play again. But I wasn't too sure about it at the start, a bit nervous about going into it, but it was that fun, just the competitive side of it. I loved it.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Nah, that was a great story. I just thought I'd ask you.
Yeah, well, we might jump into your favourite pro player when your guys obviously love watching golf. Have you got a favourite pro and why?
Favorite pro? Oh, it's hard to go past Tiger, isn't it? Just everything he's done, and you just watch him and the excitement he brings. Even the practice rounds, all the crowds at the moment. It's just good to watch. Good for golf. So I'll probably go with him.
Yeah, Tiger's hard to go past, but maybe Bubba Watson or something, just a bit left field, a bit quirky. Doesn't really care. Just goes about his business and does what he wants.
Yeah, obviously I love Tiger as well. Everyone does, but Ricky Fowler, I always liked him. He's no good at the moment, but just watching him highlights in previous years and videos pop up, I thought he was a gun, but yeah, like I said, he's going no good at the moment.
I don't think he gets a start in the Masters this year. So
I don't mind his kits as well.
I was going to say that. Yeah. Clutch can come out with the bright. I reckon that could be a little Ricky Fowler range.
I think it's based off his. He was an Oklahoma college player in the States, so he wears that burnt orange.
Right.
Based off their colours. I think that's the backstory.
He wears
but
some bright colours.
he,
Yeah.
he is a guy
Big
where
snapbacks.
Like the hat with the hair hanging out the back as well.
Like he's a dream for Puma because he's probably got his own custom apparel range through them, and for his performances they probably don't quite match his sponsorship deals because he's just built a great little platform for himself.
Yeah, he's a weapon.
What about your best ever shot, lads? Have you got one shot that you've hit that just burns in your memory as?
Well, none of us have had a hole in one, so I'm waiting for that. And a couple of times, it might have been with you two boys, but I've played and I've lipped out a couple of times. So that always sits in the back of my head, just thinking, imagine if that went in. Like, we're going straight. We've got a deal where if we get one, we're going straight to the pub, like no matter what.
You got to have a party, don't you?
Yeah.
So it's on the fifth hole.
It's
You
good
just
now with COVID,
can
like-
around.
Yeah, that's it.
So, Dim, I got COVID, mate. Straight to the pub.
Straight to the pub. The ace.
Have you guys had one?
I've witnessed 3, been in a playing group with 3, but mate, I'm nowhere near it. I think I might have skinnied one that's run past it and clipped the flag, but nothing that's pure that's zipped around it. But one story about one that I have witnessed is Angus Brayshaw, who's obviously Melbourne player.
Fucking hell.
That's
Excuse me.
that's his host.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't edit that out. We'll leave it raw here.
Yeah. No, well, funny yarn. Just to, do you want to take it or you're right?
No, it's not important. Josh Geimer, can you please save your call for tomorrow?
Yeah. We'll give Gussie a shout out. It was at Royal Melbourne. He's a member there. West Course, the 5th hole. He's had 4 wipes in a comp, so he's sitting on 0 Stableford points. He's proudest punch of his home course, and he's pretty flat. Gets up there, he sticks an 8-iron from about 150. Beautiful draw, 1 bounce in, and celebration was just huge. I think
Did he carry on a bit? I thought you're not allowed to carry on too much at Royal Melbourne.
Well, he made so much noise. He goes, my membership's probably in jeopardy here. But, I think he's got to the clubhouse and they put on a bit of a show for it. I think they frame his ball and get some memorabilia put together and gets a plaque and all sorts of things. So Oscar McDonald's another. I've seen him drain one from about 120 out, just uphill pitching wedge. And third one was actually down at King Island, which is great course down there, Cape Wickham. So just a mate, he's drained one from about 150.
Maybe we got to play with Dommy.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because I've never seen one. Seen a couple go close, and we've all had one that's around the mark, but never seen one. And geez, it was funny. A big NFL fan, and Carr, the quarterback at the Raiders, Vegas Raiders, and he played golf on his own. and he hit a hole in one.
I saw that.
And he was like on Instagram, like, I've just fucking hit a hole in one and there's no one here. Like, so he's kind of got to go on Instagram to confirm it. And then he walks up and he sees the ball in the hole. But I was thinking, that is the worst nightmare, isn't it?
It's not even worth putting up.
Nah,
don't tell anyone.
Oh, geez, it'd just be. Another one is Ed Langdon was in at Point Walter, just a little public course there in Freo, outside of Freo there. And he's hit, it's not a par 4, it's a short par 4, and it goes around to the left. And there's trees on the left. So you can't really see where your ball drops. And he couldn't find his ball. Anyway, he walks up and it's in the hole. So boys always get into it and say, well, someone could have put it in there, you know? So that's another one. Yeah, great hole in one, but I want it on a par 3 where I can see it go in. That's a great question, the Ace. It's a dream come true, that, if you can get one.
Yeah. Well, one for you, Brody, mate. I spotted you on your golf show with Paul Gow.
Yeah.
What was that experience like, mate? Were you a bit nervous heading in, or?
Oh, well, I'm actually like a golf tragic like the rest of us, and I've watched every episode of that show. And when the call came through, I was like, you're kidding, fucking oath. Like, I'm on. So, it was epic. I was like not a great golfer back then. I'm still not great, but back then I was a bit of a hack. And, I've got up to the first and like everyone's like, obviously there's cameras around and everything. Like, maybe pro golfer or something maybe. So they've started to flock in. I'm thinking, I just want to say like, I'm not a pro golfer. I'm off 20. Like, and so much nerves on the first, but it was unreal. Yeah, it was awesome. And then got through that. And then funny story. They called up the other day and he's like, "Will Bakes come on?" And I was like, yeah, 100% he'd love to. And he's like, oh, can you get a foghorn and like hide in the bushes? And when he's doing the closest to the pin, like let it rip. Yeah. And so I've like made my way like close as without even being noticed in this like shortish grass with this big foghorn thing. He's just gone in and just let it rip.
Actually would have been filthy.
I had no idea what was going on.
Did you spray it?
A little bit, yeah.
That reminds me of Jackass when they do that.
That's exactly what it was like. I had no idea. And then this bloke was sweating when he get out. It was a hot day. Man. There would have been snakes crawling around.
I was in there for that long, waiting.
That's commitment.
So that's caught on camera. That's coming out.
It hasn't been live yet.
Hasn't it? That's great.
Like June,
I'll look
July,
forward to that.
It'll be good.
Yeah. Did you end up playing 9 holes, or did you just?
You play about like 4 or 5, and you just but it's all legit. Like there's no retakes and that. So
I was going to say,
I was like, there'll be retakes and everything. So
it must have been retakes. You hit all yours straight.
No retakes, but it was awesome experience, and it was so epic.
So you actually played all right when you're on there.
Yeah, I pulled it out of my ass. Absolutely pulled a game out of my ass.
Wow. Big time player.
Love that.
Some blokes are just made for the big time.
Yeah. What's your favourite course, guys? You just spoke about being down in Tassie. Have you got a favourite course you played?
Barnboogle's pretty sick, but I reckon the PK, the south and north course there, the greens are just true. It's an amazing course, conditions, everything about it. You look around and it's just like, wow, how good's this? So that'd be mine.
Well, we were very fortunate to go to Cathedral.
Yep.
Very, very fortunate.
Via helicopter, mate, or did you drive?
We actually did, yeah. We got a bloke's like, do you want to come play? And we're like, yeah, 100%. And then he's like, so we're putting on the heli for you. So like it was That's just brilliant. Wow. Yeah, it's just once in a lifetime thing to be able to go and do. Yeah. Like the deck's pretty good. It's like PK is definitely better in that, but just the whole experience of going up there is just something you got to tick off the bucket list, I reckon.
Yeah. And you play all right down there?
Nah, shit house. Yeah. Absolutely shit house.
Quick trip home
Had
back
about 120 and then back we go.
Yeah.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah. What about you, Bates?
Yeah, PK's conditions unreal. Barnboogle, like King Island, like Wickham.
Yeah.
They're like similar and same as like New South Wales. We played there when we were up there last year, and that was unreal. Like all on the water, you know, just barely looking at your golf ball, just looking at the view behind it. That was the best, I reckon.
Yeah, I've just got one more before we maybe jump into a bit of a Masters preview.
Definitely.
A little bit of a left field one. Golf, bit of an old sport traditionally. Is there anything you'd change about the game of golf, the way it's played, or anything about the rules? Like, for example, would you want music on the course or something like that?
Oh, if there's a way to make it faster.
Yeah, speed of play.
Yeah. Obviously, 3 or a group of 4, young, fit blokes, we're going to be pretty quick than most other people. We're always getting held up. You just want to...
Little bit of a shot clock.
It's a great call, actually.
Yeah, like...
Basketball shot clock.
A shot clock would be massive.
Was packed like the second day we played there. I think it was a 5.5 hour round. Like,
Yeah, man. No,
it's a long day, especially after a big night.
Bit dehydrated as well.
We copped a mouthful yesterday on the course. Got to the finish of the 18th and calling it a day, and a couple of lovely old ladies were sitting there waiting for us and bailed up young Shorty and gave him a mouthful. What did he do?
No, he was going back.
Yeah, we were like
He was going back at him, but
we were hitting like on our hole, and then there's like that queue is pretty tight. The hole coming back the other way.
Okay.
Just a couple of like shanks, so not in the same hole, just a couple of shanks, and yelling for, and they landed nowhere near him, but out of courtesy we yelled for, and they're ducking for cover, shitting bricks, putting their back out, and then we never once were hitting that actually on them, just a few left field shots, and then it got to the 18th, and they were all just sitting up there waiting for us, give us a polite mouthful.
That's great. The old fake four when your mate's in front of you.
Yeah,
Nothing better. That's a great question, though.
Yeah.
That's a great answer as well.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It ruins your day.
Because even after training or after work, anyone wants to play a quick 9, just 9, practice a couple. If you're stuck on the third or fourth, it just ruins the whole. It ruins your momentum, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Well, you all know the bloke that's par 5, second shot. They're 300 metres out. They ask for a yardage. What's the wind doing? Which club?
Yeah.
And how far does it go? 40 metres off the top. So
You top it.
you top it.
What a feeling that
I know.
is.
So
absolute sin.
yeah. Do you want to roll into a bit of a Masters preview, Tommy?
Yeah, well, that's what we're rolling in, and that's what everyone wants to know. And we've got the golf enthusiasts here, so we're going to go right into it. The way we're going to talk about this, we've already spoken about Tiger, about how excited we are to have him. But boys, how do you reckon he's going to play? And what do you reckon? Can he win it?
I think he can win it.
Yeah,
He can do anything.
Yeah,
he wouldn't be playing if he couldn't win it. I reckon he's got too much pride and too much ego. So if he's going to step out onto the course, he's a serious chance, I reckon.
It's a great call.
He's a 5-time winner there. So if there's one guy that's coming in off no prep, you just back him in, wouldn't you? You'd just be a brave man to ride him off in terms of
I'd be back
competing.
in the red polo, that's for sure.
everyone's probably backing him, wanting him to win as well. First game back.
I was watching the highlights of the 2019 Masters last night and the night before, and when he started getting going, I think Brooks Koepka's kind of trying to putt, and the crowd is just going wild.
Yeah, there's a funny story. I think he played with Tony Finau in that last group in 2019, and there's a good quote that came out from Finau where they're playing partners, they know each other. They hadn't spoken, I think, up until about the 12th hole, and Tiger's just locked in, and Finau went up to him and said, "How are the kids, Tiger?" Tiger just looked at him and said, "They're fine." That's it, and that was the only conversation. He was just so in the zone, locked in, so he can get to that place. Who knows?
It worked, didn't it? Because whoever was in his group,
Molinari
were
was
leading, and they were nowhere at the end.
That's right. Yeah, I think that's that exact moment. Molinari put a couple in the drink, and
did he ever?
Yeah. So
On that 12?
he's obviously got an intimidation factor to him, Tiger. Like all these guys look up to him and respect him, and but there's still that aura around him where if he's in the hunt and he's on the prowl, he's coming, and they know it. They can feel it.
Was one of you boys saying you don't want to be partnered with him because you're probably going to lose a couple of strokes just because it's Tiger?
I think I was saying that earlier, where they just there's some quotes from some pros where just because the crowd's so manic that they're jostling for position, and if it's your turn and you're in Tiger's group, just be prepared for some distractions that might end up hurting your score.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. If he can pull it off, it'd be one of the greatest things we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go into who wins, which is, we always spoke about Tiger, but boys, we've obviously prepared our tips and we'll go through them, but we're more interested in what you guys think. So the way we've got it here is who wins, and then obviously we'll talk about the Aussies in depth because we love our Aussies, but start with you, Bakes. Who do you think can take it out? Give me your best tip and maybe some value there as well as your second.
My best tip, I'm going with Xander Schauffele. Is that how he's been up there a bit in the past few years, and he's got the short game, so that's my tip to win it. Obviously all the shorter odds are more likely, but I don't know if the favourite ever wins there. But bit of a roughie. I'm going with Abraham Answer.
Yes, I'm all over this bloke. I was going to bring him up.
Yeah.
He's second for like missing left, so he doesn't really miss left. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, right. So you've been doing your homework.
Yeah. Rank 15, and he's in form.
Yeah. He was top 5 or top 3 a couple of weeks ago and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't mind him. So
That's great. One of my good mates, Mickey Wallace, big shout out. He's a golf nut. He gave me a bit of mail as well. I've got to give him a little shout out. And he goes, bring him up and see if the boys really know anything about him. And you've just brought him up. So, yeah, he's great odds.
yeah, what is he? Maybe 61 or something.
Yeah, he's mid-pack there, yeah.
So now I've said it, I've got to back him.
Yeah. There you go. The Mexican.
Yeah, the Mexican fella.
That's great. What about you, Brody?
I'm sticking with the Aussie. I'm going Cam Smith, the only player in history to score 460s in a round, and he's tied second in that. So I think it's his year. He's one of the best putters in the world. Short game, he's within 100 feet. He's the best in the world. So I reckon he's my tip. And then my rough is another Aussie. I'm going with Leishman.
Yes.
Yeah, big Leish. He's a fellow Richmond man too.
A couple of safe picks in
Yeah,
there.
we might as well not have the Aussies there.
I'm backing it up with firm statistics. Facts.
Has a great lager as well. I was smacking them on the course, the Leishman
He's a
lager.
fellow Richmond man too. So he was tied 5th last year, and I think he had a shocking 4th day, which he would have been right up there.
What's his form been like heading into this, and does it really matter?
Shit house.
I think he missed the cut at the players, I think.
Yeah,
Right, so.
big fella hasn't been hitting them too well, but he plays well at the Masters, and I think his game, is up there. His short game with Cam Smith's elite.
I think I read that Cam Smith's, out of the 72 holes, 43 or 44 of them, he one-putted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's ranked like 1 or 2 best putters in the world, I think.
So if he brings...
Fridge is going down that same path too, but
Done a little bit of homework.
Yeah.
Jason Day's got great form, which he's not playing.
No, his form's poor.
Sorry, no, at the Masters though.
Oh, yeah. He's
Sorry, not previous, like Tawny's, his Masters form's really solid. So I'm pretty flat he's not playing.
Yeah, mate, to be honest, the Aussies traditionally perform pretty well. Like Cam Smith, as you said, I think he's only played a handful, but he's a couple of top 5s. Adam Scott's obviously
Missed
won
the
it.
cut.
Yeah.
Odds there maybe.
Leishman was in Scotty's final group in that year that Scotty won it in 2013, Day. So, and then I think Lucas Herbert, who's a youngster's debuting, Minwoo Lee, and I think there's Cameron Davis, I think he's playing as well. Yeah. So there's a contingent out there. I'm sure we'll see a bit of him on the coverage. But
exciting.
Smithy's probably heading in with the most form, isn't he?
Yeah.
Your tip, Jackie?
I'm going Patrick Cantlay. With the putting, I think he's ranked 1 or 2 behind Cam Smith for number 1 putts. And then I think I think at the Masters, you got to hit the par 5s. So he's a big hitter and he can dial it in. And
he gets ready for the Masters. Like this is his one where he walks a bit taller as a past champion. So and he preps knowing that this is the one he wants to perform at. So I like it too.
My man, I'll give you my tip.
Go for it, mate.
I love that you mentioned the par 5s. Yeah. My man, Big Brooksy Koepka, can absolutely smoke a ball. And I know that he lives for the big time.
Yeah, he does.
He loves the majors. So I've got a few tips here, but he's my absolute tip. Love the way he goes about it. As I said, he always stands up and he comes second in 2019. So he has a bit of experience on this course and I like the way he goes about it. He's actually won me some money before, I think, at the US market.
The US Open.
Yeah. So that's one. But I've got a few here. Favourite Aussie, Cam Smith, spoken about him. My heart says Rory Mcilroy. And the reason is I want him to become the 6th person to get the career Grand Slam. And I again, studied a little bit about his prep into this tournament. And it's pretty poor, not making the cut, Texas. And they reckon this is the first year ever he's got down to Augusta and he's been practicing on the course.
Right.
And they reckon it's a new kind of routine for him. Yeah. And I think traditionally he's always started really poorly and then he's come good. And if you look at, I've got some stats there later, but if you look at his 4 days when he's gone all right, it's always been the first day that's kind of cost him. Like one day he hit 75 and then he was in the high 60s. So I'm saying that he'll probably be my second tip. I think he's at that age, and a little fun fact, I call it a train's treasure, boys. The average age of a winner at the Masters is 32.5, going off this article written in 2020.
You have been up to midnight doing your form.
I have. I was looking for something out, and that was the best thing I could find, which was the average age, and he's 32 years old. I think he might be ready to go. So, Yeah, there's a lot of others there, and Abraham answers me, Smokey.
What was the reasoning behind Abraham Answer?
15th, and he's ranked second on tour for the left misses.
What's that stat mean, mate?
Well,
you've rolled that out
just
twice.
with the course and the way it plays, he's very straight, so it's going to play into his hand. Yeah, and I want some odds.
Yeah.
So if we can pluck a Smokey out here on Tommy Talks and give the punters a winner. You gave all your tips. Did you give a value out there, Dommy?
Oh, I've got my Smokey, and he's won 3 times in the past year. So whether he's a Smokey or not, up for debate. But Sam Burns, so he's not a big name, but his form stacks up, and I reckon he might suit Augusta.
Love that.
But my tip to actually win is Justin Thomas.
Yeah,
I'm going to back him in. So he's just all over it. He's thereabouts every tournament he plays, and I just like the way he goes about it, just pure with his putting and his wedge game, and then he for a little guy, he can smoke it down off the tee.
Once again, lads, thanks so much for your time. We're really excited. We're going to chuck all this up, so hopefully one of us have tipped a winner here.
Surely we can get one.
Surely.
We've thrown a few names out there.
Yeah, surely. And then that's something that we're working on, which we might as well break, but we're working on a Clutch & Co golf day, so we're trying to incorporate a competition. I've got a private course down at Macedon, actually, at Lawson Lodge. It's a difficult course, but it's private and
part of the 9 holes there.
Yeah, it's just a 9. I'm thinking there could be a concept there, a bit like 2020, the big bash. So we'll get you boys involved. And thanks for coming on, boys. Appreciate it. And may the best man win.
Yeah,
thanks for having us, guys. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is almost a wrap at Tommy Talks. I've got 2 more things for all of you at home. We have just got into Dom's ear and he has reactivated the discount code at Clutch & Co, which is called ACES. Make sure you head online right now to www.clutchandco.com.au and use the 25% off discount code that Dom has activated in ACES. That's right, capital letters ACES, and it'll get you 25% off when you use that code at checkout. Now, secondly to that, we've just launched our massive competition on Instagram, which is a $250 E Voucher from Clutch & Co. If you tag 2 buddies you smash at golf in the comments and predict the winner of the 2022 US Masters and their score. So make sure you check that one out. Other than that, thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate your loyalty. We're doing great things. We're only going to do great things if you keep steering it, so keep feeding in what you love or what you don't like. Really appreciate those that do. And to the boys that joined us today, thank you. Let's hope some of our tips get up. Who knows? Abraham Answer, the Mexican magician. He might even just get up at odds. There it is. Have a great week and we'll chat soon.